Hello. If you're watching this video, you've just read our brochure on understanding IDEA and the IEP process. What we'll be discussing now is what rights are guaranteed to you and your child under IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Act, ratified by Congress in 2004, and of course the IEP process. Now, first things first, it's important to understand that you and your child have the right to be involved in the individualized education program of your child. In other words, any IEP meeting, the school must give you ample opportunity to attend those meetings so that you can advocate for yourself and your child. Let's take a few steps backwards and talk about how we get to an IEP. If you or the school suspects that your child may indeed suffer from a disability, you have the right to refer your child for evaluation. This is a right guaranteed to you under IDEA. The school may also refer your child for evaluation, but first and foremost, it's your right. Now, if that does happen, your child must go through an evaluation process, and that process under IDEA must be centered on your child and your child alone. It should not be testing several children at once. And it should consider first and foremost the existing data regarding your child, and that might be your child's current level of academic achievement, coupled with any information you may wish to pass on based on your doctor's or therapist's observations or your own. And of course, it should also include a variety of non-discriminatory assessments. Now, variety is the cornerstone of this evaluation process. The assessments have to be varied in order to make a thorough conclusion during this evaluation process about your child's status. And once those evaluations have occurred, once the experts have considered everything, the school and the parents and guardians meet to determine eligibility for special education. If it is concluded that your child does indeed suffer from a disability and qualifies for special education, the data you have reviewed as part of this process is going to form the foundation for the IEP. Now, what are the components of an IEP? Well, there are several that are guaranteed under law by IDEA. And they are, first of all, it must include your child's current level of academic achievement so that we have a basis for where they are. It must include yearly goals for your child as agreed between you and the school. It should specify what services will be provided, whether that's transportation, accommodations, modifications made to the syllabus or the curriculum in order to guarantee that your child is able to get a FAPE, a free appropriate public education. It should specify what amount of time your child will spend with their peers, their non-disabled peers, according to the least restrictive environment principle, which states that the law wants your child to be educated as much as possible to the maximum extent allowed by their disability with their non-disabled peers. And it should also specify what state and district's tests your child will take, if any, and how progress will be measured against their yearly goals. Now, very important that we discuss expectations for ongoing monitoring and how we're going to support development and achievement for your child. And first and foremost, there must be an annual IEP meeting that is mandated by IDEA and guaranteed to you by the law. And this meeting must be attended by a general ed teacher, a special ed teacher, a school administrator, an expert who can interpret results, and you have the right to attend, as does your child if they wish to do so. And of course, it's important to have open lines of communication, whether by email or by phone, between the teachers and you, to have quarterly monitoring, and just to define and put in place what monitoring tools will be utilized to assess your child and make sure they're not falling behind. Now, lastly, I want to talk about an educator's ethical responsibility to the integrity of the profession as part of the IEP process. What it comes down to is FAPE, the free appropriate public education. Educators have an ethical and moral responsibility. They are beholden to ensure that your child receives a FAPE. And what that means is they have to strive to make sure that your child is not getting left behind because they're not being provided the proper accommodations. So in other words, their ethical responsibility to the IEP is to ensure that the IEP is rigorously and methodically applied as specified in the components of the IEP. That is their moral obligation to the profession. They have to make sure that they provide an equitable opportunity to your child through the IEP, which is the tool that allows them to achieve this. I hope this answers some of your questions about IDEA and the IEP. I encourage you to review our brochure. And of course, just remember that IDEA is on your side and that you have rights that are guaranteed. Thank you.